I'm Pauline Brooks, and today we're going to be making another seafood dish. This dish was given to me by a friend of mine. You see, I have already gotten started. I had cut up the peppers, and we're going to dice up. I had diced up some peppers. We're going to dice up these onions, some onions. Then we're going to put it in the pan and cook the onions and the peppers until they get like a little soft. And then we're going to add shrimps, tomatoes, tomato sauce, some clams, and our seasoning. But first, I'm gonna finish cutting up these onions and everything, and then we'll get them on, and then we'll put them in, and then I'll finish up with everything else. So let me finish up with the onions, because I already got the peppers in. Matter of fact, we can put the peppers in and get them started. So let's start with the peppers first. That's on. And we're going to put a little bit of oil into the pan. Not maybe a teaspoonful of oil. You can use olive oil or you can use vegetable oil. It doesn't make a difference which one. You just don't want a lot of oil. We're also going to be cooking with wine. We're going to be putting some wine. You're going to use white wine or red wine as long as it's dry. So let's start. Let's put the peppers in first to get them started. And while the peppers start loosening up some, softening up some, we'll finish up with our onions. You just dice them. They don't have to be super fine, you know, super thin or real chunky. You just want a nice little dice on them. That's all. And then once we do that, then we'll just put in the rest of our seasoning. We're going to cook these until they get a little translucent. You don't want to brown the onions. You just want them to get a little clear, you know, light color, you know, so you can see through them. And with this dish, you can put rice with it. You can have bread. This is supposed to be a quick meal, so I went to the bakery and got me some Italian bread, which I want to just butter down and put some garlic powder on it, and you know, oregano or parsley or whatever. Maybe some butter, maybe a little garlic bread to go with my seafood dish. This dish is made with shrimps and everything. You can put fish in it if you like. You know, I usually will put codfish in it. This dish has a lot of different names that you can use with this dish. But it was a dish that my girlfriend showed me how to make. And so, but I would call it, I could name it after her, the Noah's dish. But you can hear these peppers and onions just cooking. After this gets it cooking real good, you're going to turn, you don't want to have the fire up too high, because you want it to cook nicely. And you don't want your onions to brown, you just want them to get a little loose, like see-through type. So after that, after your onions get going, you're going to open up your can of tomatoes. You know, you're going to open up your can of tomatoes, your clams, your tomato sauce, and you're going to put all of that in there. Then you're going to cook it for like 20 minutes. You know, bring it to a hard boil, then turn it down and simmer for 20 minutes. And then after that, you'll put your shrimps in it. And if you decide that you wanted some fish, you put them in it too. And you only have to cook it until your fish and your shrimps are done, you know, which takes about another 7 minutes after you put it in. But it doesn't take long. This is a simple, easy 1, 2, 3 dish. It shouldn't take long to prepare. You know, this can over mine. It doesn't take long to prepare. It usually opens right up, but it looks like it's giving me a hard time today. So after I open this and pour all that, then I'm going to put my seasoning in. I have pepper flakes, I have oregano, I have parsley, salt, pepper, my wine, and I'm also going to chop up some fresh parsley, and I'm going to put them in there also. So now I'm going to put in my tomatoes. And get all that tomato juice out of there. Because like I said, you're going to bring all of this to a boil, and you want it to boil like a hard boil. And then you're going to turn it down and let it simmer until everything gets done. Then you're going to add your shrimps and again, I mean, I know I'm constantly telling you this, but I don't want you to forget anything. So you got this to turn your fire back up so you can bring it to a hard boil. Now I'm going to take and put this in here. Chop up my parsley here, which you give it a rough chop. It doesn't have to be a super fine chop. Just break it up so it can be a rough cut. You're going to put that in, and then you're going to add all your other seasonings. Just get all of that, because who has seasonings and spices and all that to waste nowadays? Everything is so expensive out here. So you want to make everything, pretty easy to get it. Your tomatoes, you can have chopped tomatoes, you can have crushed tomatoes. Alright, we're going to add a teaspoon of, if you don't want it real hot, you don't want to add a lot of pepper seeds. So we're going to add a teaspoon of the red pepper seeds. We're going to add a teaspoon of oregano and parsley and your salt and your pepper. You'll think that teaspoon is going to make it hot, but it really doesn't. By the time you add all your liquid to it, it's not going to be that hot. Teaspoon of oregano.
Station 94.7 WDSD High Valley. Love you for a long time. It's Buzz. Song number 5 tonight. They are
a teaspoon
of
sea salt.
Got your 4 most requested coming up. The first 24.
I usually have my salt already in a dish for today. I do.
Wow.
And be careful because you don't want to oversalt. Because once you put this salt in, then you want to taste it to see if you need any more salt. Since you put a teaspoon of the pepper flakes, you're going to put a half a teaspoon of black pepper.
Hey, and set your alarms for 5 a.m. tomorrow because we've got more ride to Sky Passes.
And at 7 o'clock tomorrow, you can see it inside of this pot. You will see that Cup Series Triple A 400 at Dover International Speedway. And half a teaspoon of black pepper if you don't want it too hot.
You can do your part to fight prescription drug abuse by cleaning out your medicine cabinet.
Dry. You know these are dry ingredients that I'm putting in. You're going to have one fresh, and then you're going to have one dry. And this is not a loose like this. I can open this. You're going to go back to a teaspoon of dry parsley.
Fight prescription drug abuse, which is our fastest growing drug problem. 20% of Americans over the age of 12 have abused prescription drugs, and now
come to a boil, like I said, and then
doing your part to help the
you're going to let it simmer down. But in the meantime, while I'm here, I'm going to add a
potential health hazards to our water supply. Please safely dispose of your unused
of
over-the-counter and
red wine. You want your wine to be dry.
From 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Why do you take back
So you don't want,
visiting
you know,
Healthy Homes.
if you can't get a dry wine, it's okay to have a sweet wine. But I prefer, the dry wine because that's what the recipe calls for. So I'm using Marcella.
Thank you.
Shopping for a car? The best place to start is car.
And I'm going to do a half a cup.
You can compare features, prices, and more on thousands of high-quality used cars and trucks in our nationwide inventory. You can even transfer most cars to the store.
If you guys can smell this now,
It's the easy way to see
it
actual
smells
prices
so
and
good.
pictures. And find the car that's perfect for you. Log on to CarMax.com.
Oh, I love that smell. I used a handful cup. I really probably could have put a cup in there. But and that would have been really, really good. Now that's all you have to do. That's basically, your meal is done until your shrimps go in and until you put your fish. If you want to put fish, those are the last two things you're going to put in, is your fish and your shrimp. So I'm going to pour in the clams right along with the juice. I'm going to keep the juice. And I have the baby clams, but you can use the minced clams as well as the baby clams. So I like to have the baby clams. The minced clams are really, really chopped. The baby clams is chopped up just as fine as the minced clams. So now when this comes to a boil, then I'm going to let this simmer for 20 minutes. And then I'm going to turn it down, let it simmer for 20 minutes, and then that's way the vegetables that I have in there, the peppers and the onions, are going to cook and get nice and soft. You don't want them too soft, you want a little crunch in there. And like I said, you can serve this with the bread, which I'm going to put together now, or you can cook some rice, or you can cook some noodles. You can serve it with basically anything you want. So let's this simmer and start on my bread. Okay, let's check. I know this has been simmering for 20 minutes, so we're gonna give it a taste test to make sure we got all the seasonings in there that we would need. Or do I need to add any more salt or pepper? So let's. Good. Don't need no salt, no pepper. We're going to add our shrimps, and then we're going to let it simmer for another 7 minutes or until the shrimps are done and turn pink. You can use about 1 pound to 2 pounds of shrimps. Like I said, with your fish, if you want fish, but I just want shrimps tonight. So once this gets done, then we'll be ready. Yeah. Are you like that there? And I already have the garlic bread in the oven, which I'm going to take out now, because it should be done. Should be nice and brown. And your garlic bread is nothing but putting some bread, some butter. Oh, see? Putting some butter with some garlic powder and some parsley on there, and then you made your own garlic bread. Simple as that. You can add anything. You can add cheesy bread, you can add cheesy garlic bread, or plain garlic. This is the way I like it. So this is how I'm going to serve this here. As soon as my shrimps get done, then I'll be ready to plate up, which is be about maybe 3-4 minutes. The shrimps don't take long. But like I said, if I had put fish in it, it would have took about 7 minutes. So let me go get my plates, and I'll be ready to plate up. Okay, I got my plate and my bowl. So now we're going to make sure our shrimps are done. And yes, they are done. Like I said, you don't want to cook your shrimps too long because you don't want them to be like real tough. Because when you cook your shrimps long, they have a tendency to get tough. So now we're going to just put some in a bowl, plate up, and then we're going to have a good taste test, which I get to taste. Oh my goodness, this looks so good. Get us a couple pieces of garlic bread. Oh, now how does that look? And always remember, when you serve your guests, make sure your plates are clean. You don't have no food dripping all around your plates. Now, I hope you try this recipe that I made for you today, and that you enjoy it. Like I said, if you have any recipes that you want me to cook on the show, send them to me by email, cardibrooks11@yahoo.com. Now, it's time for my own taste test of what this is going to taste like. See ya! Oh, I won't have to hold this in my hands. Oh my gosh. Dump some of that. Yeah. I'm not a dumper, but I'm a dumper now.